Hello everyone, Glenda Mollet here, and welcome to my craft room this morning. I'm doing a quick YouTube live to create this card and to show you a really cool trick on how to decorate your envelope and inside. So for this one, I've done a little bit of sponging using my blender brushes. The inside is very plain, but I recently received a card that had a really cool sponge silhouette on it. So I'm going to show you how to do that this morning. Okay, so I'm just making sure that everything is working on YouTube and we'll get started. So for this card, I need an envelope, a medium basic white envelope, a card base that is thick basic white that's 8.5 by 5.5 scored and folded in the middle. Then I have a piece of basic white 5.25 by 4 for the inside, a piece of pale papaya that is also 5.25 by 4, a piece of designer paper that is 1 7/8 by 5 1/8, a piece of gold foil that is 5.25 by 2, and I've already die cut the image out of that. And then I have the image I die cut from the gold. Then out of a piece of basic white that was 3 by 4.5, I've die cut these two images. And then I need a piece for the sentiment, which I didn't get out, that is somewhere around whatever size you need to do, excuse me, the sentiment that you're using. So just let me find a scrap here in my scrap pile. There we go. Okay, so on the background, I've added some dots, tone on tone dots, just to give it a little bit more interest. So I'm going to put aside the envelope, the base, and the inside piece. So I'm using the Quiet Meadow bundle for this. This was a card that I did at my catalog launch on May the 8th as the make and take. I'm using Quiet Meadow stamp set and the coordinating Meadow dies. Okay, so let's get going here. Sorry, I'm just trying to move my die cuts out of the way. So I'm going to take pale papaya ink. Good morning, Carmen. I'm glad you found me. I'm just looking to see, oops. Okay, that's not what I want to do, sorry. Apparently I moved my, oof, that's going to be ugly for you guys to follow now. Okay, so I'm taking the stamp from Quiet Meadow that has all the dots on it, and I'm just going to randomly add them to the card front. Now, I don't have to go over right to the edge because I am covering that up, but you need to go over far enough that you know that your piece is going to cover it. So I'm just going to take the gold foil that I'm going to be covering up with and put it on here like that, just to make sure I've got enough. And I see a little bit of a hole down there. That's going to add partial stamped. Oops, yeah, then I messed that one up. Oh well. So there we go. We're going to put that on there, and I'm going to cover up that little oops by moving that over just a tad. Excuse me, holy macaroni. Okay, now the only thing I haven't got done is the sentiment. So I'm going to stamp that in Memento. And I'm doing Thinking of You because I have an extended family member who needs encouragement right now. So I'm going to be sending this one to them. Okay, now I'm going to die cut it out with this die also comes in the Meadow dies. So I'm just going to line it up here, and I'll stick a little bit of Post-it note tape on there because I have to go over to my machine, and I will be right back. I'll just let you look at the card. Okay, that didn't take too long. There we go. Take the Post-it note parts off. You have to go gently here or you will pull the ink off of your image. Okay, so there, I've got the sentiment done. Put that back. Now I've got all my pieces. I've got the sentiment, I've got the background and the gold foil piece of the Simply Elegant designer paper. I'm going to layer there. And then I have all of my die cuts. Like that. Oops, that one's upside down. Don't like them upside down. All right. So now to attach this. So I'm going to attach the designer paper right to the gold foil. Now this is a really great trick and tip when you're using something that is going to be a layer. Do a die cut out of it or two before you put it on your card. Then you're not wasting that whole piece. It took me a very long time to get over the fact that there would be holes in my card. But you see, you can't even tell. Isn't that gorgeous paper? It has gold foiling on it, and the sheets in the paper not only have gold foiled, but they have silver and copper, I believe it is, as well. It's so pretty. Okay, so now I'm going to layer that onto this piece. And remember, I have that blob there. I don't like that blob there. So I'm just going to move it over just enough that it will cover up that blob and leave me with a bit of a frame on the other side. There we go. See, no more blob. So I've done this one a bit different with that little bit of a frame over there. Okay. We'll put that right onto our card. Love, love, love the Stampin' Seal. It's strong enough, it rips your fingerprints right off, but it sure holds. Now we'll just put this right onto our card base. Center that like that. Okay, now to get this die cut so that it looks like that die cut, I'm going to use some pale papaya and some soft succulent. Hello, Blondie. Holy macaroni, that was a hard one to get out. Now just let me get my dirty paper because I don't want to get my mat covered. Oh, there's adhesive on this. I don't want it sticking to my mat. Oh, okay, I have to get another piece. Because that had adhesive on it and I don't want it to stick to my mat and create an issue. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Now, I'm taking my blending brush and the pale papaya ink. Patting it off first just because I don't want there to be a definite spot of where I started. I want it to have color, not splotches. And I'm just going right from the edges in so that the edges turn out a bit darker. And just go as much as you want. But now I'm hanging on to this because I don't want it to tear. There, so I've gone right down on the stem with that. And we will Change now to soft succulent. Get out my green blender brush. Now you don't have to have one for each color family, but I use a lot of them, so it's just easier to do this than to have to worry about coloring or cleaning them completely in between. And they come in packs of 3, so there we go. Okay, so I've added a bit of color. Oops, get a little bit more right up there at the top. There we go. So that's how you that's how you do the blending on there to give it color. All right, so we're going to use glue dots to attach these. You could also add adhesive sheets, but I forgot to do that. So we're using glue dots. So I'm just putting one at the bottom on the stem, in one of the wider areas. And then I'll put one here. And one at the top so that it doesn't get caught on anything and rip off. Come on, there we go. Now let's see, that should be good enough. And I'm going to put this kind of sideways a little bit, like that. Then the next one we're going to put on is the gold one that we cut out of our gold foil layer. Oh, maybe this is why I don't do first thing in the morning anymore. Okay, that, and then one right in the middle. I really like the glue dots for doing this because they make it so much easier. You don't have to worry about getting glue everywhere. So that one will go on top like that. Now we'll take the one I colored and do the same thing. The glue dot on the top. And one in the middle. And then one at the bottom. And there we go. Now we'll just put that right on top. Like that. And the sentiment, grab some glue dot or dimensionals and we'll pop that up. And then I'll show you how to do the inside. It's a really cool trick. Okay, here's the sentiment. And we'll just put it right there over top where all of them join, like that. There we go. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so to do the inside and the envelope, let me just get rid of my glue dots here. I have a tendency to run around because I forgot to put the piece of ribbon on there. Okay, so I have a piece of thick basic white cardstock and I've die cut it with the Bachelor button image. This is the inside piece. So now I'm just going to lay it over top of that. This is the piece for the inside, and I'm going to just hold it down with some Post-it notes so it doesn't run away on me. And the Pale Papaya ink and blending brush, we'll just add some color right on top there. And these blending brushes are so fine and so delicate that you can do this over top of really finely die cut images without having an issue because they don't grab anything when they go over top of it. Okay, there we are. So I've done the flower part, and now I'll get my soft succulent Hey, hi, Janet. I'm so glad you found me. Yeah, it's just another platform I'm streaming on because I thought I have an empty spot in my week on Tuesdays that I don't usually do anything with. So that's when I decided to start doing face or YouTube lives. I don't know whether I'll do it every week, but it's there. Okay, so I'm just adding color to the leaf and the stem. Then when I pull it up, look what you have. Is that not stunning? Then, of course, you could take the other ones as well and add them. But I'm just going to put one on that and one on the envelope. I'm going to use the same. I'm going to use the same image. Now, when you do this, you want to make sure you have it on a big enough piece of paper that you're not going to actually sponge on your envelope or the inside piece. Just adding some color. This is the soft succulent. So it doesn't matter which color you do first, but you have to push quite hard so you get it down inside that stencil that you've created. There we go. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love doing swaps because you never know what you're going to get. And sometimes the techniques that they've used are really fun to do. So that's where this came from. This is for one of the swaps that I participated in for the new catalog. A little bit more on this side. And then just rub it around a bit. There we go. And there's the envelope. It's easy, it's quick, and it's an alternative for doing your insides and your envelopes. Now, the stamp set does have this lovely image that I usually use for the inside, but I thought I really want a bachelor button on there because there's a bachelor button on the front of the card. So I was glad when I got that swap card. She did an awesome job. It was Tina Zink did it. So I'll see if I can find her card for you to have a look at. There it is. So Tina used the blending brushes to color her image. Then she used the rest of the stamp set to make like a distressed look. This is actually the paper for In Good Taste, the pink part, and she's just added all of the images, and then down here she used the what's it called? Days to Remember stamp set. So that's this one, and see there's the circle. She circled a special day. Now, it could have been up here, then that would have been my birthday, but I don't think Tina knows that that's my birthday. But I love how she did this. And then she took, I have to cover up her address. She took the envelope and did the same thing with the envelope. Now the inside, she didn't finish off the inside, but look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that card. So that's where I got the idea to do the envelope and the inside. And of course, it was after I did the make and take for my catalog launch. So those of you that are watching this or live or catching the stream afterwards, you get a special hint because this is not on any of my other videos and stuff. Okay, where's the card? There it is. I lost the card for a sec. And I'm just going to pop this inside. Like that. And there we have our card and envelope with the sponged images on the inside. And this is the original one, which is basically the same, except I just stamped the image on the inside. So there we go. That card doesn't take long to do at all, except I did have the die cuts cut out first, except for this sentiment. I love this one, and I love this designer paper. Let me show you that designer paper. It's called Simply Elegant, and it has foiling on one side of each of the sheets. So there's that one. It's got little foil dots, and then it's black and white on the other side. This one has silver and gold foiling, and I love that pattern. I just love this whole package because it's so pretty. This one, look at how stunning that one is. It's got gold, silver, and copper foiling on it. And then those dotty things on the back side, but that's my favorite side. And then we have this, also has gold, bronze, and silver foiling, and then some lovely dotty stripes on the other side. And this one is all gold foiling, gold on white. And then it has that basic gray and white pattern on the back of it. And then there was the one that I used. So it has this on one side, and then flip it over, and it's got lovely herringbone-ish type pattern on it. But this one would be spectacular on that card, wouldn't it? Just cut that down to 2 inches and you'll get 2, 6, 12. You can get 12. Yeah, 12 pieces out of one sheet. That is awesome. Okay, ladies, thank you so much for joining me this morning. I hope you have enjoyed the card, and I hope you enjoyed the little tip about using your blending brushes and a stencil. An exclusive YouTube live only tip. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you soon in my craft room. Stampin' Smiles.